Bruchim Habayim. Thank you for coming, everybody. This week's shiur is for the Refuah Shelema of Adina Bat Chana, who is the daughter of Rav Elbaz, who was knocked over last week by a car. Yeah. She's not well at all. So she could do with all the help she can get. So Zrat Hashem, she should have a full Shlema. She should be returned back to her family healthy and well. Okay, before I start talking about the Parsha, which is Parsha Tavo, I want to mention today, unfortunately, something tragic happened today. It should never happen to anybody. There was a 44-year-old man. As far as I know, this man was healthy and well. At the age of 44, he just dropped dead. He had a heart attack, dropped dead. He left a wife and 2 children. And I know this man, and I know this man's brother, and I know this man's sister. And but I cannot imagine what they must be going through now. To be able to have a brother one day and then lose him the next. They didn't even have a chance to comfort him if he had an illness. Nothing. This is so unbelievably tragic. It's just, I was beyond belief when I heard this. So I also want to dedicate this shir Le'eloi Nishmato. I don't even know his full Hebrew name. His English name is his Hebrew first name is Zev. Zev. This shir should be Le'eloi Nishmat, his neshama. And
today, I think you have to say Ruach Hashem.
Yeah, we'll say his family name. His name is Zev Stepsky. You should have we should say Ruach Hashem Tenachenu B'Gan Eden. Hu v'chol ha'shavim imo tiyeh nishmatam tzura b'tzura chayim. So before I talk about the parasha, I want to do something unusual. I'm going to learn a Gemara with you. I have actually learnt this Gemara with you before, but I think this particular part of the Gemara, this particular sugya, is very, very appropriate for this time of year. So the Gemara I'm going to learn with you is Gemara in Sukkah. The page is Nun Beit Amud Aleph, and it is Agadata. Now I can't pretend that I understand all of these ideas, but let's see if we can get something out of it. We're going to explore and get a bit of background on one of the Malachim in Shamayim, who is our nemesis, our opposite. And if we're going to fight a battle which Hashem wants us to fight, the first thing we have to do is to know who our enemy is. You'll understand what I'm talking about when you hear this Gemara. Says the Gemara, Amar Rabbi Asi, says Rabbi Asi, Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer Hara, Batchila in the beginning, Domeh L'chut Shel Buchya. When we first encounter the Yetzer Hara, it appears to us like a filament from a spider's web. Ulabasof, and at the end, whatever the end might refer to, Dome Ka'avotot Hagala. It ends up in a rather different expression. It goes from being the thinnest filament in creation, probably, which is spider's web, into being a thick rope. Shneimar, as it says, is the pasuk, Hoi mishchei ha'avon b'chavlei hashav v'cha'avot ha'gala chata. It says, Vai means woe. Vai to those people who bring the Averot on themselves with thin strings of Averot, and they bring the sin ultimately with thick ropes which pull the agalah, which pull the animal cart. What does this mean? We have discussed this before. The Yetzer Hara, ultimately he is a malach, he's an angel of Hashem. He's very wily, he's very crafty. He doesn't come and attack us full on and say, you do this Aveira now. Because most people in their right mind will tell him what we think of his idea. We'll tell him to turn around and walk the other way. We don't want anything to do with him. So what does he do? He comes at us with the most innocent of requests. Almost a mitzvah, he'll tell you to do. I would like you to do this mitzvah for me. And he'll colour it, and he'll change it, and he'll paint it until he makes the Aveira look like something so appealing that you would be a fool not to do it. And once he's got you with this thin filament, then he starts strengthening his grip slowly and slowly until he's tightened like a rope. Now I know I've said this before in previous weeks, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit now, because it's worthwhile knowing who we're dealing with. We're not dealing with any malach. You know, we talk about malachim, we bandy around the word malach, angel. We think we know who angels are. They're little furry things with wings. We're talking about angels like Eliyahu Hanavi. He's a malach. Michael, Gabriel, Uziel, Raphael. Great malachim. They appear all through history. Malachim are creations who are fit to be, in the audience of Hashem. So they're not ordinary. We can't use the word angel in a light sense. We have to think about it very seriously. So says the Gemara, moving on a little bit. And here's the bit that I really want to get to. This is the Yetzer Hara. This is the Yetzer Hara without the mask on. Without all the fancy makeup and all the appealing stuff. This is not the iPad Yetzer Hara. This is not the movies Yetzer Hara. This is not the daintily clad Yetzer Hara. Listen to what he is without the veneer. Shenatan einav b'mikdash rishon. This Yetzer Hara put his eyes on the first Beit HaMikdash. V'hecherivo, and he destroyed it. V'harag talmidei chachamim shebo, and he killed all the talmidei chachamim who were inside. V'sofo et hayam ha'acharon, and this is a quote now, and his end was to the last sea. Shenatan einav b'mikdash sheni v'echerivo. After he finished with the first Beit HaMikdash, then he was not content with that. He moved on to the second Bayit. He also destroyed that one. V'harag talmidei chachamim shebo, and he killed all the talmidei chachamim in the second Beit HaMikdash as well. Va'ala ba'asho v'ta'al tzachanato, and the smell, the sickening smell, the bad smell from this Yetzer Hara will go up, and the foul odor will also go up. What does it mean? שמניח אומות העולם ומתגרה בשונאיהם של ישראל. He will leave the goyim. He doesn't have much to do with the goyim, and he will come to the Jewish people, because it says soneihem shel Israel. It doesn't mean literally the enemies of Israel. When it says soneihem shel Israel, it means the Jewish people, because it's lashon sagi nahor. It's a euphemistic language. So the Yetzer Hara will leave the goyim and go to the Jewish people and concentrate on them and get them to sin. Now, why does he do that? He's got 99.97% of the world population. He's got free reign over them. Why doesn't he bother with them? He has to come to bother with us. Not even 1% of the world population has to run after us. So why does he bother? Go, you've got plenty of people, plenty of Chinese, plenty of Asians, plenty of whoever it is. Comes to bother with us? And the answer is because he knows that with us, if he gets us to do Averot, he gets a much bigger reward. Let's look at it in terms of numbers. If he gets a goy to sin, he'll get maybe 5 points. And if he gets even an irreligious Jew to sin, this is not like a literal comparison, then he'll get 5,000 points. It's not meant to be compared one to the other. But he'll be way off the scale. So of course, if he knows he's going to get more points, he's going to go after the real, where he's going to get the dividends. Of course, that means us. So we have to be extremely aware of this. And lastly, this is the last bit of the Gemara that I'm going to discuss tonight. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Yitzro shel Adam mitgaber alav b'chol yom. A person's Yetzer Hara will strengthen itself against the person every day. Shenemar, as it says, Rak kol hayom. Rak kol hayom. Only evil all day. He's working constantly, renewing his efforts to get us to do Averos. Now, Ezehu chacham halomed mikol adam. Who is the wise person? He who learns from every man. Maybe we can extend that. Maybe we can learn from Malachim as well. If the Yetzer Hara is working so hard every day, making new strategies, planning, how am I going to get Chaim to do an Aveira? Or Moishi to do an Aveira? Or Chani to do an Aveira? Or Esti? Let's work out. This didn't work right. Next thing. Let's try this. Let's work this. Let's do this. And he's working every day planning and scheming and plotting. Should we be any less? Obviously from the opposite point of view. Every day we should be saying, I must do that mitzvah. I didn't do it so properly today. I could do it much better. Let's make another plan. How am I going to come to shul on time? Maybe I'll put an extra alarm. Instead of one alarm on my clock to wake me up, I'll have 2 alarms. And one alarm will be set for, let's say, 6:30, one for 6:35, and I put the other one at the other end of the room. So I have to get up and turn it off, otherwise it'll drive me crazy. And how am I going to learn properly today? How am I going to stop myself drifting? Maybe I'll get 10 minutes more sleep. I'll be more awake, more alert. Maybe I'll go for a healthier diet. A person has to think and plan and make a battle. Because he's fighting against us and we're acting like we're helpless. Don't do anything. Every day he's planning. Meanwhile, we're walking, doing nothing. There's 2 people in a milchama. There's 2 sides in a battle. One person should be helpless, while the other person is throwing knives and daggers and bullets and whatever at us. We should be taking it all. Of course not. requires strategy. You want to deal with this malach? You've got to deal with him on his own turf. You've got to be opposite him. He plans, you plan. And this is the month that we've got to do it. This is the month that's very appropriate to take this battle out to the field. Take it to him. Don't sit there and you're helpless from all the punches he's throwing at you. But look at the extent of his resolve. Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, said Reish Lakish, Yitzur shel adam mitgaber alav b'chol yom u'mevakesh lamito. This is the important thing. The man's Yetzer Hara is every day renewing his efforts, trying to trip the person up. Listen to the last two words we said here. U'mevakesh lahamito. He wants to kill him. Our own personal Yetzer Hara wants to kill us every day. Every day. Planning, plotting. He will not be happy until he's killed us. Lo aleinu. Shneimar, it says, Sofer Rasha Latzadik U'Mavakesh Lamito. Pasuk says very clearly. You shouldn't worry, by the way. At this point, you shouldn't think, what am I going to do? There's a murderer coming at me every day. Hang on. Ve'ilmale HaKadosh Baruch Hu she'ozer lo, eino yachol lo. If it wasn't for Hashem helping us, guarding us, then we would never be able to withstand the Yetzer Hara. If you think it's hard now, dealing with your evil inclination, you should only know what it would be like if Hashem would not be there to help you. No chance. Not a microsecond. You would not stand. We're talking about a malach. Not talking about a man, a strong man, a mighty man. We're talking about a malach. You won't stand one rega against this malach. Again, there's a pasuk that backs it up. Shneimar, Hashem lo yazvenu beyado velo yarshienu behishafto. Hashem will not leave the Yetzer Hara in his hand, nor condemn him in Hashem's mishpat, Hashem's judgment. You know what it's like? If there's a little child, I was thinking about this today when I was preparing this shir. There's a little child, and the child sees something very scary. What is the first thing the child does? If he's at home, quickly runs and holds his mummy's hand, holds his daddy's hand. Now, as soon as he holds his parents' hand, he doesn't care about the thing that's scary. Well, he does care about it, but it doesn't seem so bad anymore. I'm holding daddy's hand, everything's okay now. I don't have to worry about it. My daddy will help me deal with it. I'm in very good company. This is the same thing with the Ribono Shel Olam. We have to feel very comforted when we see things that terrify us, when we see the Yetzer Hara coming and tempting us and pushing us. The first thing we have to do, if we're not doing it already, is to run and kivyachol hold Hashem's hand, as it were. Cling on to Hashem, connect yourself to Hashem. Now you're in a position to deal with him. Now you've got the Borei Olam who's helping you. Now you've got to, now all you have to do is make yourself shayach to Hashem. Connect yourself to Hashem. You connect yourself to Hashem, Hashem will deal with it for you. Hashem will help you fight this battle. Because you can't do it on your own. Already He's helping you. Already without Hashem's help, you wouldn't stand a chance. Impossible. But what happens in reality? Not only are we not aware that Hashem is helping us, but some of us don't even care. We don't even know. We don't even care. And adarabba, the opposite happens. What do? Instead of connecting ourselves to Hashem, we connect ourselves to the enemy. The Yetzer Hara says, go left, go left, go right, go up, go down, go left, go right. Instead of thinking Hashem is here, Hashem is there, up, down, left, right, Hashem is everywhere, for us, we say Yetzer Hara, He pulls us one way, then next day pulls us another way, and then another scheme, another plan, another avera. Yes, he'll pull us with his strings and then the ropes. How obscene is that? How absurd is that? If you think about it, it's not a very pleasant thing to discuss. It's not. I agree with you. It's a very painful thing. But I'll tell you something. Rosh Hashanah is also painful. Rosh Hashanah is a time where that is the time when the verdict gets written down. And if you want to change it, it's going to be very hard. You've got Teshuvah, you've got the 10 days. But then what if you waste that? What if you get to Yom Kippur? What if you don't? What if? I don't want to be in a situation where it's what if. I want to be in a situation where I know I've got a fair crack at the whip. So you want to make yourself in a position where you can fight. So it's not pleasant talking about this, I agree with you. But you have to know who he is. And you have to know how to fight back. And these are the days where you're going to put in your preparation. Okay. So let's move on to the parasha. Let's talk about something positive. Bezrat Hashem. Okay. Now, this week's parasha Ki Tavo. In the beginning, we have this beautiful sugya, this beautiful portion, this beautiful parasha, which talks about the bikurim, the first fruits. What is this thing about the bikurim? The farmers who've been working all year, they planted, they waited, they cultivated. Now they are very proudly bringing the first fruits of their crops and bringing it to the Kohen in the Beit HaMikdash. What an amazing thing this was. והיה כי דבו אל הארץ אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך נחלה וירשת וישבת בה ולקחת מראשית כל פרי האדמה. We bring mereshit from the beginning. We take the first, it's called reshit. Reshit Tavua, it's the beginning of your crop. And this word mereshit is not used just randomly. It is connected with another reshit. Which reshit does it connect with? If we see in a few weeks' time, or if you want to go the other way around, you go all the way back to the beginning of the Torah. What's the first word? Bereshit. Bereshit has many translations, many contexts, many lessons. The Tikkunei HaZohar was written about the word Bereshit. This particular connection, this particular understanding of the word Bereshit is Bishvil Reshit. Bishvil Reshit means because of the Reshit, this is why I created the world. What is Reshit? Reshit refers to this week's parasha. The Reshit, the beginning of the first fruits. This is one of the most important mitzvot in the Torah. It's the initial mitzvah. But that seems very strange because there's so many mitzvot in the Torah that seem hugely important. What about V'ahavta l'recha kamocha? Shabbat? You have to say Bikurim? Okay, I know it's a beautiful mitzvah, but this is the Reshit, this is the first, the most wonderful mitzvah. Why? One idea is as follows. What is the whole idea of this whole pageant where we bring the first fruits? Why is everyone so happy? If you think about it, there's one thing which is driving this whole ceremony. There's one thing which is behind it. The idea of Hakarat Hatov. The idea of a person recognizing and giving thanks to the one who deserves the thanks. Of course, we're talking about none other than HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because a farmer can very easily say that old adage which we apply, Kochi va'otzem yadi. It is the strength of my hand that resulted in my good fortune. It resulted in my booty, my windfall. Because I was the one who planted, I was the one who sowed, I reaped, I did all the work necessary, and it was very hard. It took me all year, and now I've got these fruits. I shouldn't be proud for my own work. So comes this ceremony of the Bikurim and says, no. It says, agreed, you worked very hard. Nobody's taking that away from you. But who was behind it? You made the effort. But who was behind it? Who masterminded the whole thing? The Borei Olam. The Ribono Shel Olam. And without him, you can plant from now till Mashiach, you will get nothing. So this whole thing was representing Hakarat Tov to Hashem. And Hakarat Tov, as we've talked about so many times, is the basis of creation. La'olam chesed yibaneh. Chesed was the driving force behind creation. And chesed which is done on a one-way basis. Not just any chesed. Chesed from the one who derives no benefit from giving that chesed. Of course Hashem has no benefit from chesed whatsoever. So it's totally one way. So that deserves Hakarat Tov. That deserves recognition and gratitude. And proper recognition. Full on gratitude. Not just thank you very much and turn away and do something else. It's something which should involve our entire lives, which should constantly be in a state of Hakarat Tov to Hashem. For everything. Every little thing. I didn't get a parking ticket. Baruch Hashem. I managed to succeed in my exams. Baruch Hashem. I tripped over but I didn't fall and hurt my head. Baruch Hashem. I found the pencil that I lost last week. Baruch Hashem. Every little thing. And you shouldn't think it's babyish. It's not babyish. Because all those little things have a source. They're all from Hashem. Hashem doesn't say, oh, those things are little. I'm not going to bother with them anymore. I'm not going to help people anymore. If somebody loses his compass or his pen, no, I'm not going to bother with that. I'll leave it to be lost. No, Hashem gives us the way to find these things that we lost. I think Hashem would go on strike and say, you know what? I'm too busy running the world. I'm only going to be bothered with the big things. All the little things, cancelled. Now, forget it. All the little Yisurim, I'm sorry, you have to deal with them yourself. Never says that. He's always bothered with everything. Every blade of grass screams, not literally, but screams the fact that there is a creator. Every tiny thing in creation. And Hashem is intimately involved with all of creation. So if Hashem is bothered with everything, so we should also recognize that. It's the simplest level to be on. In the same Perek, Pasuk Yud Aleph, there is a command. V'samachta b'chol hatov asher natan lacha Adonai Elohecha uleveitecha ata v'halevi v'hager asher b'kirbecha. What's this command? You have to be sameach. Hashem is commanding us. You bought the bikurim, you've got to be happy with it. You've got to be sameach. But didn't we just now say that there was a whole ceremony, pomp and pageant, everyone's getting involved. The people who are bringing the fruits, they're on top of the world. They're full of Hakarat Tov. Why do I need a separate mitzvah separate commandment to tell me to be mesameach. It just seems unnecessary. Of course, there's simcha everywhere, and there's other commandments. V'samachta b'chagecha, you should be happy in it. There's other commandments for simcha. Why dafka over here? You have to be sameach. Says Rav Gifter, that tells Rosh Hashiva, says a person's simcha, a person's joy, let's say, not really a good translation, but a person's joy might be tainted. Because a person might be bringing these beautiful fruits, and he might be saying, I like these fruits, but the apples, a little bit small, and the grapes, they're not so sweet, and the figs, they're not so ripe. And he'll find an excuse to pick holes in what he's got. And he might say, you know what, my stuff is good, but the farmer across the road with the field next to mine, the borders on my field, he got a much better crop than I did. Why should I have a much smaller crop and my fruits are not so nice? And he had a bumper crop this year, and he bought much bigger fruits for Bikurim. He's next to me. Why? Well, I'm victimized by Hashem. Says Rav Gifter, you need to banish those thoughts from your mind. Whatever you have, that's the best for you. That's what you deserve, and that's what you need. Don't look at what could be, what should be, what I deserve. Just look at what you have. Look at what you have in the here and in the now. Because whatever you have in the here and the now, that's exactly bidyuk, punkt, what you need. Nothing more, nothing less. That's a big lesson in life. Again, we're going back to Pirkei Avot. We're going to say, Ezehu chacham, Ezehu ashir, asameach b'chalkam. Who's the rich man, the truly rich man? Somebody who's happy with his lot. Not somebody who has a lot. Somebody who's happy with his lot. Not like Esav, who said, Yesh li rav. I have got a lot. I'm happy. I've got a lot. I shouldn't be happy. Look how much I've got. Now you might think, oh, this sounds like a tzaddik. Esav must be a tzaddik. But look at what his brother Yaakov said. Yaakov did not say Yesh li Rav. Yaakov said Yesh li Kol. I have everything. There's a difference. Somebody who says I have a lot, there's always room to get more. Yesh mea rotze matayim. Yesh mana rotze matayim. One who has 100, even 100 is a lot, he will say, I want 200. And when he's got 200, I want 400. It's not good enough for me. But somebody who, like Yaakov Avinu, who says, Yesh li kol, I've got everything, then somebody, if I get more, it's a bonus. I don't need more. At every stage in my life, I have exactly what I need. And if I don't have it, then Hashem doesn't want me to have it. It doesn't mean I shouldn't strive for more, for what's necessary. But it doesn't mean I have to kill myself to get what's lo magia li, what I don't deserve. Because you're not going to get it no matter how hard you try. Of course, this goes without saying, a person has to do ishtadlut. Because you're not, if you deserve it, if Hashem wants to give you something, He's not going to give it to you for free. You're not going to open up the door and see in front of you, mountains of banknotes, and now you can take it and you don't have to work for the next 10 years. That's not how it works. We have to put in our ishtadlut. But we have to know at every stage that whatever we have, that is perfect for us. That is divinely received from one Rosh Hashanah to the next Rosh Hashanah. No more, no less. And that's the lesson of the Bikurim. I don't need any more. Yesh li kol, I've got everything. And the last lesson, the second last lesson I'm going to speak to you here, again, is about the Bikurim. There are various types of people who bring these Bikurim to the Kohen. Very poor people, all the way through to very rich people. Now, if you are a rich person, chances are you'll bring the most beautiful fruits, but you'll also be presenting them in the best way possible. You'll be bringing a beautiful silver or a gold basket, beautiful, ornate, and you present that to the Kohen. That will be wonderful, fantastic. But if you're a poor person, of course you can't afford anything like that, and they don't expect that from you. You will bring the fruits in a simple container, maybe made of raffia or wicker. That, you know, you make this, like you make the lulavim, make that wicker lattice work thing. You make a nice little basket like this, simple thing, and you give it to the Kohen. What is the procedure of the Kohen as concerns these baskets? When the rich person brings his basket, the Kohen will take the fruits and he will empty the fruits out and give the rich person back his beautiful basket. But when the poor person comes with his basket, the Kohen will take the fruit and the basket and will give back to the poor person absolutely nothing. He keeps the fruit and the basket. So it says the Gemara, you know what this is like? It's like robbing from the poor. It's like making the poor even worse off. The rich people, what do they end up with? They get their basket back. Now they can reuse it next year. It's not chad pami for them. But every year that the poor person comes with this bikurim, he has to have a new basket every year. So what is this? This is fair? This sounds like, is it capitalism? No, communism, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, whatever ism it is, that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound fair at all. But in reality, the opposite is true. And this is extremely true even in our time. When a person who is wealthy wants to do a mitzvah, let's take for example tzedakah. And let's say there's a raffle. And they're selling raffle tickets for £50 per ticket. And the prize is a car, whatever it is. The rich person, he wants to buy a ticket. For him, he doesn't have to stretch very far. Puts his hand in his pocket, pulls out a £50 note, give. Fine. He didn't even feel it. The next person comes to the door with another raffle ticket, another £50. He still doesn't feel it. You can buy 100 of these tickets. For him, it's loose change. If a poor person wants to buy a raffle ticket, first of all, he'll look, how much have I got? 50p, 55p, 65p. Have I got another 20p? 85p. He's counting. Okay, right, let's see. I really want this raffle ticket. It's a good cause. I don't care about the car. I want to support this yeshiva. So he's looking, he's thinking, what am I going to do? Okay, the raffle is in 6 weeks' time. If I save £1 every day, let me work it out, then they make all sorts of cheshbonot until he scrapes together. Maybe he's mishtatef with somebody else. He has £25 and the other one has £25. They make a little syndicate. Maybe there's a few of them, each one gives £5. And they come up with £50. They scrape it between them. Oh, now we can buy the ticket. What's the difference? It's the same £50. The difference is one person, yalla, £50, chick, no effort. The other person has to work and strive and do cheshbonot and mishtatev, and it's a whole different idea. This is the idea behind the poor person and the rich person. The rich person, if he wants a gold or a silver basket, fine, no problem. He goes into, what's that silver place in Israel? Hatzorfim. He walks into Hatzorfim. I want a nice silver basket. You got one? Yeah, thank you. How much? 500 shekels. Okay, here, 500 shekels, end. Finished. What does a poor person do? He doesn't even have 50 agorot. He has to go, pick up the scraps from the floor, the scraps from the end of the harvest, the little branches, the little leaves maybe from the dekel, from the palm tree, weaves them together. It might take him a few weeks, maybe to gather all these things, and then he has to make the basket so nice, and he makes real effort into it. He puts time and effort, because he wants to do the mitzvah. It doesn't want to be left out. And then he brings his beautiful creation that doesn't look very impressive on the outside, and he brings this to the Kohen. The Kohen says, why? This poor person spent so much time and effort to make this basket that's so much more beautiful than somebody who went into Hatzorfim and spent 1 minute. Didn't even choose it. You choose me a silver basket. How much? Finished. It's so much more beautiful. You make the effort. You give everything you have. You make this basket so that you can do the mitzvah. Says the Kohen. This wicker basket that you made is just as important as the Bikurim. And you know what? We're going to keep it. Because it's the most beautiful thing. It shows your dedication to the mitzvah. It shows how much effort you want to do the mitzvah properly. If this we should take and give away and give back, we want to keep it because it's so beautiful. It's part and parcel of the mitzvah. And that holds true today. It's very easy when somebody has a birthday to walk into to buy a Hallmark card. In my day, it used to be Athena. To go to buy a card from Athena and maybe not even write something. Just say, dear so-and-so, love so-and-so, whatever it is, put it in. And the message is already printed in there. There's a difference between somebody does that, or for that matter, does an email. You know, I'm surprised people have time to type an email. I'm so busy. Oh, I might as well give 30 seconds. I'll stay away from the internet, do 30 seconds to write somebody's happy birthday. Sometimes it's just happy birthday, not even the name. Now, the difference between somebody who does that and somebody who takes a paper, and children do this. We should learn from children. Take a paper, they get 10 colored pens, they come, they write, they design, they make a picture, they fold it up nicely, they make a nice cover. Not talking about the kids who print it on the computer. They make the effort, they come and you open it. What's more beautiful? You got something handmade, avodat yad, or you got something which took him 30 seconds to buy from the sweet shop, from the newsagent. What's more precious to you? I tell you, one of the kids on my school rota made me, I actually was going to bring this into you, made me stum. She made me a little paper. It said on it, Rabbi Kalati, and had a picture of a house, and a picture of her and a picture of me on there. And all different paints here. And when I picked her, she's only 5 years old. When I picked her up a rota, she goes, here, I want to give this to you. You know, I put it on my fridge. It's still there. It's been there for weeks. And all the other things, birthday cards, all this, all forgotten. This one thing that this little girl Sarah made for me is still on the fridge. And you know, I get nachat from it. Not because it's for me and it says Rabbi Kalati, there's nothing. But this person, this little Boreal, this little creation of Hashem, this little beautiful neshama, spent time. She didn't have to do that. Nobody told her, make something for Rabbi Kalati. Nobody told her. She, from her own accord, she said, I want this to be for you. I shouldn't be happy with such a thing. It's more precious to me than most things. In fact, I wanted to frame it. Anyway, I don't want to belabor the point, but you can see what I mean. When a person puts effort, it's so much more precious to Hashem than somebody who just does something because he has the money and he can do it. Don't get me wrong, of course, we're not putting down the person who does the mitzvah with his money. You must do mitzvah with your money. But just as important it is to buy a sukkah, it is even more important to build the sukkah. Like I always mention about my Uncle Levi, he could have bought 100 sukkahs for Ojas of Chaim. But he didn't do that. He donated a lot of money to the shul, granted, but it was told to me that at Sukkot time, he would be schlapping and sweating when he was lifting the heavy boards and hammering and making the sukkah for the shul. Now this was a person who actually, the shul is there because of him. It's called the Levi Kelati Synagogue. It wasn't enough for him to put the money down and go away and do something else. No. He wanted to put the effort in. He sweated for the mitzvah. And he did this on a Sunday, when he could have been doing plenty of other things. He used to work a full 5-day week, like till very late at night. And on his Sunday, he could have been spending time with his family. At Sukkot, in preparation for Sukkot, that's what he was doing. Sweating and working to do the mitzvah. That's what Bikurim is teaching us. This is so precious to Hashem. Who would want to part with such a basket? You want to keep it, you want to put it in a private place. Okay, my last thing now, we're going to hopefully finish on time. With Hashem. Moving to the end of the parasha. Perek Kavchet, Pasuk Kav Zayin says, Yakacha Adonai b'shchin Mitzrayim uv'tachorim uv'garav uv'chares asher lo tuchal leherafei. I think that's the pasuk. Okay, yeah, it is the pasuk. Because this week's parasha, apart from talking about the beautiful parasha of the Bikurim, also talks about the kelalot, the curses. And this parasha does not have any formal consolation. Because you know, when the Jewish people are told about the curses, we're not content with just stopping with that. We have to have brachot as well. We need consolation. You can't just tell the Jewish people that they're going to be punished and then leave it at that. We would break down. We need nechama. We need to be comforted. We need to know that we're still, it's like getting a potch and then being sent to the room. You want to know that your parent is giving you a potch, that the parent also loves you. I'm hitting you because I love you. I'm telling you off because I love you. If you know that, then it's not so bad. But just to get the potch and the parent to turn his back and walk away, that's no good. You're going to destroy the child, chas v'chaliyah. So this set of kalalot has no consolation. It's just kalalot. But we are told that in fact, within the kalalot, there is a very important and significant nechama, a significant consolation. What is that? It's the pasuk that I just read you. And the important word, well, let me translate the pasuk first. Let's see what we have here. Hashem will smite you with shchin, with the boils of Mitzrayim, with other types of boils, yeah, and then there's no cure for it. Hashem will give you all these things. That is the pasuk of nechama. That is our consolation pasuk. Hashem will give you all types of boils. Shall I end the shir now? You think that's... Or should I explain? Should I attempt to explain? This is totally... doesn't make sense. Where's the consolation in Hashem giving you a disease that you're not going to find a cure for it? Really and truly, this is the greatest nechama. Because there is a key word in this pasuk which turns the whole thing on its head. And I'll refer you to the story of David HaMelech. I don't remember the exact pasuk, the lashon of the pasuk, but the pasuk that David HaMelech said was, better that I fall into the hands of Hashem than into the hands of man. What did David HaMelech mean by that? He meant to say that if I fall into the hands of man, and there are plenty of enemies out there who wanted to kill David HaMelech, so he said, I don't want to fall into their hands. If I'm going to be punished, I want to fall into Hashem's hands. Why? Because people are ruthless. They won't listen. You can plead, you can cry, you can bribe. If the enemy is the real enemy, forget it. David HaMelech's own son wanted to kill him. Who would imagine such a thing? A son wanted to kill the father? What is that all about? Want to kill the king of Israel. Not just, this is not talking about ordinary people. This is the king of Israel, David HaMelech Israel, from whom Mashiach is supposed. Mashiach comes from David HaMelech. And his son wanted to kill him. So of course, David HaMelech was very familiar with this. But he said, I'd rather fall into the hands of Hashem. Hashem, you punish me. Why? Because if you're going to punish me, I know the punishment is coming from the right place. If you punish me, it must be I deserve this punishment. And I have a chance of teshuvah. If it comes from you, I know it comes with love. Who would a child rather be punished by? By the teacher or by the parent? Of course, the child will go straight to the parent. Because what will he do? He'll schmooze the parent. I'll be good, this, I'm sorry. And then the teacher, if the kid says, I'm sorry, whatever, say, what are you talking about? You're sorry. I don't care if you're sorry. You did something bad in the class, you deserve a punishment. And now the kid gets the same telling off from the parent. He knows that even if the parent punishes the child, it's done with love. You're not going to find a parent who comes and says, you misbehaved in class, your teacher told me you were bad, come here, let me cut your finger off. Or let me give you the cane, like they used to do in the old days. Let me take the slipper, let me give you chach, chach. It doesn't work like that. Teachers might do that. The parent would never do that. Not any ordinary parent. The parent will, of course the parent will punish the child, but that will be in the parent's way. The parent has a different relationship with the child than the teacher with the child. Totally different relationship. And that's why David HaMelech said, I would rather be punished by you, Rabbana Shalom. You are my Father in heaven. I don't want to fall into the hands of man. This is the idea that we're presented here. Through all these kilalot, through all these curses, there's one thing, there's one beautiful gem hidden in here. And I'll quote the pasuk again. Yakacha Adonai bishchin Mitzrayim ubatachorim ubagarav ubecharas asher lo tochal lerafeh. Hashem, you are giving me the punishment. If you're giving me the punishment, then I know that it's Tati who's punishing me. And if he punishes me, he knows what's good for me. He knows I deserve it. And you know what? Maybe I can do teshuvah. And Hashem is always waiting for our teshuvah. There are some circumstances where He makes teshuvah harder for us. He never turns His back on us. Never. Not even Acher. Not even Elisha ben Avoya, who in the Gemara, in Chagiga, we're told he did every sin under the sun. all the sins that we know and that we don't know. It completely went off the derech. This is one of the Tanaim. One of the Tanaim who did every Aveira. And when he walked past the shul, he heard the voice saying, everyone can come back into Teshuvah. Everyone has a chance to do Teshuvah. Everyone will have that option open for them, except for Acher, which is the other name for Elisha ben Avoya. Imagine hearing this. Everyone can come into Teshuvah, but you, no. Imagine if you heard such a thing. So he was discouraged, and he continued sinning. But really, what was the case? It wasn't that Hashem did not want his teshuvah. Hashem would have accepted his teshuvah. But Hashem wasn't going to give him that siyata d'shmaya. Wasn't going to protect him. Wasn't going to stop the Yetzer Hara like he does for everybody else. It would have been harder to do teshuvah for Elisha ben Avoya, but he could have done it. He could have done it. And Hashem would have accepted it. But we're not even talking about a case like that. All of us are protected on a daily basis. All of us have the chance to do teshuvah. All of us. It's just that we're too busy with our own stuff, doing our own things. We're too busy ignoring the fact that the Yetzer Hara wants to kill us. Hashem is holding him back, but we're running and we're saying, I don't care about you, Hashem. Let me listen to the Yetzer Hara. That's the frightening reality. Hashem is holding back. He's saying, I don't want him to get you. In fact, the Gemara here, the same Gemara says there's 4 things that Hashem regretted creating. One of which was the Yetzer Hara. Now, I don't know what that means. How can Hashem regret? I don't know what that means. I'm just telling you, kipshuto, in the simple reading of the Gemara, that Hashem regretted creating the Yetzer Hara. Whatever that means. Take it or... If anyone's got any explanation, I'd be happy to hear it. But... So Hashem regrets creating him. He's holding him back from us, and we're running to him. It's just, we want to shut it up. So all of us should strengthen ourselves, make ourselves the connection to Hashem. Stop running to the Yetzer Hara, connect ourselves to Hashem, and come back to him. Just that little bit. Make that little bit of effort. We've got a couple of weeks left now to Rosh Hashanah. And I still have this list, my Elo list from last year, which I recycled this year as well, which, if anybody wants this list, you can email me. Bli Neder, I'll email you back. It's a beautiful list of Kabbalot, things we can take on, small things we can take on during Elo. I'll be very happy to if you send an email to rabbikalati@gmail.com, I'll be very happy to send you that list. I'll be happy to learn. If it's helped you, I always like feedback. So all of us should take on 1 or 2 or just little things and be resolute about keeping these little things. I will never, just during this month of Elul, I'm going to keep that thing. If anything, I'm going to keep that thing. And I'm going to be, with dogged persistence, I'm going to keep it. It's 2 weeks now, 2 weeks to Rosh Hashanah. Make that resolution. It could be not eating chalav akum or pat akum, like non-supervised bread. It could be coming to shul 5 minutes early, learning a Mishnah after davening, learning a couple of halachot. How long does it take to learn a couple of halachot? 5 minutes? You can't spare 5 minutes? Put the 5 minutes in. We've got 2 weeks left now. I wish all of you hatzlacha rabbah. Bezrat Hashem, Hashem will hear and answer our Kabbalot and will give us a year this year of Osher v'Osher, Shefa and Bracha for us and our families, and we should all dance with Mashiach and Refuah Shalema, and all of us should dance with Mashiach this year without a moment's waste.
Amen.